Right, I'm going back to my people. I'll catch you later, alright?
Yeah, see you later.
Behave yourself. See you later, mate.
Just gonna quickly sort this out. Thank you. Is John coming? See how this one goes. We're just setting up the live broadcast. Please bear with. I'll be with you shortly. I'll just set up quickly, and yeah, we'll decide from there. Make sure everything's all set up. Yeah.
Have you heard of Anti-Republic? Yes. Can I do it? Look. Listen, I've been sending CP undercover.
Are you here for the Million Mast March?
Mr. Louis Harrington.
Yeah.
This is a professional
he
out.
wanted me to hold it.
So BB.
Oh, what are you on? You're on Prism.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Cool. Okay, we're gonna present now. Yeah, just make sure we can. Sound is working correctly. All good. If you don't mind holding it, that'll be. Thank you very much. Okay, so just before, a huge shout out to BB Audits for holding the camera. Just the underscore BB underscore Audits. He's holding the camera. Okay, welcome on to the stream. My name is Louis Harrington. We're currently broadcasting live and on the ground. As we see, we're in Trafalgar Square, right next to the famous Nelson's Column. And today will be the Million Mask March, also dubbed as the anti-digital ID protest. But as we see, there are a group of people gathering here today to protest against digital IDs. Welcome onto the channel. My name is Louis Harrington. I'm an independent journalist and I cover a diverse range of protests on the channel. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. We cover on the ground, live and on the ground coverage of a variety of protests, and we also cover Speaker's Corner most Sundays as well. And we have a lot of coverage coming up this month in November, so I hope you enjoy. Be sure to share this stream with your friends and family. We have a busy month of covering a range of protests from all sorts of sides and angles as well. But I'll just show you over here. We can just see, I'll just shout out once again to BB underscore Audits. We can see there's a Palestine protester with a Palestinian flag, if you don't mind zooming in quickly. But yeah, we can just see over there, appears to be, I can count about 2 or 3 protesters, I don't know if they're counter protesters or if they are part of this Million Mask March protest, because apparently the Million Mask March protest is a variety of groups that come together to protest against one thing. But yeah, we can just see in the distance over there, there is a Palestinian flag and a Palestinian protester. And then on that side over there appears to be the main group of protesters over there. But we're going to try to speak to a few people live and on the ground in central London. I hope you enjoyed this stream once again, and be sure to share this and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in once again. Just duck under.
What?
Thank you for that, mate.
No worries,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
No worries. Leave me as a cameraman. Right, let's get this set up for live.
Good, thank you. Legend. Thank you. Thank you. So we're currently in Trafalgar Square at the moment. We got One Gen Media here. Yes, why are you here today?
Hello everyone, well we're here today for the protest that doesn't look like it's happening. You seen anyone, Louis? Who's turned up?
So, yeah, there appears to be a crowd of people here. We can see a Palestinian flag as well, but we're not too sure if that's part of the protest or could be for something else, but we'll find out later.
There's one down at, where is it, New Scotland Yard as well, if anyone wants to go check that one out. We walked past it on the way here, but there was nothing there, so your light's blinding me, can't see far. There you go. Like and subscribe everyone, share the stream.
Thank you very much for that. Cheers, good to see you.
Well done, Louis.
Thank you, mate.
What's happened down there, nothing?
Not a huge amount just yet. Yeah. Might speak to a few people though. Yeah.
Hey, we've got a Palestinian
Yeah. Hiya, how are you? You okay? Good to see you. Is Nick coming? No. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Good to see you there. Fair enough. Yeah. Definitely. Hiya, how are you? You okay? Good to see you. Louis, nice to meet you. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people gathering in Trafalgar Square today. A number of people at least.
Well, a few people. We're hoping for more.
What's the main reason?
No digital ID.
Why are you against digital IDs?
Because I don't want to live in a dystopian, totalitarian society. Like the little bit of freedom that we have to remain with us. Where's this going out to?
It's on YouTube broadcast, Louis Harrington.
Not BBC.
But in terms of the implementation of digital IDs, why are you against it, and what do you see as the drawbacks?
Because they would control everything that you do, your movement, your spending, and next in line, I think we all know that digital currency would be next. Tell you how to spend your money, and what are they going to be doing with your carbon footprint allowance? That will probably be something else that they would put in place. So they would control all aspects of your life, your movement, your spend, how you live, what you're allowed to buy, when. 15-minute cities, smart cities, I think they like to call them. Because nobody would want to live in a concentration camp, would they?
Thank you. Thank you for your insight.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Louis.
Cheers.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Nice to meet you. Would you mind telling us why you're protesting today?
Same as what she said, against digital IDs.
And why do you think digital IDs are a bad thing from your point of view?
Because it's all about control, and we end up being a bit like China. They tell us how we can spend our money, they'll be able to cut us off, stop us buying food. It's all about control.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. We're currently broadcasting live and on the ground in central London, in Trafalgar Square. And as we see right next to me there are a group of people gathering for the annual Million Mask March. But this year, in particular, it's protesting against digital IDs. And behind me, just in the distance, we can see a group of police officers just gathering around to police this protest, which will be taking place throughout this evening. Welcome onto the channel. My name is Louis Errington. I'm an independent journalist and I cover a broad variety of protests and events on the channel. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. We're live and on the ground at the moment in Trafalgar Square.
Time, Brad.
Did you ask him what films he's been in?
Finally, the close-up.
I've lost one of the LEDs in your rig. No, I've got one here.
Excuse me, sir, why are you protesting today in central London?
Against digital ID.
Could you come close to the camera just so we can, if you don't mind bending down? So what's the main reason for the protest again?
Digital ID, we're against it. We're also against the way the country's going. We're against a lot of things really, but we are the organisation Anonymous. So.
And why do you think digital IDs are a bad thing?
Well, it's going to allow the government to track everything you buy, track everywhere you go. Any money, say, enters your bank account or whatever, they're going to ask where did you get that money from. They're literally going to intrude into every aspect of our lives, and it's not happening. We're totally against it, and we won't allow it to happen.
So what major changes would you like to see happen in the UK?
where do I start, to be fair? Labour government needs to sort itself out. Reform UK need to F off and go away. That's just for beginning. Conservatives need a shakedown from the top up, yeah? There's a lot of things, really. We need everyone to stop jumping on this bandwagon of racism and hate, yeah? There's nothing worse than racism and hate, really, in reality, yeah? It's causing division in the country, left, right and centre. And it just can't be allowed to happen because the country's getting more and more violent by the day. There's stabbings, there's shootings, there's beatings, and all of this is all because of the country being divided by, say, Reform UK and all of its supporters, yeah? So we're absolutely against Reform UK as well. So we need them out, yeah? Nigel Farage is a criminal, an absolute criminal, yeah? He's raking in money on the backs of everybody else, yeah? And he's got no interest in any person in this country whatsoever. He just wants to make all of his friends, all his right-wing friends, in top jobs, they all have money, blah, 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 you know? So.
Just to be devil's advocate here, recently, about a month or two ago, a few weeks ago, Nigel Farage stated he is against digital IDs.
It's a total lie that Farage is putting out. He's trying to be the man of the people, yeah? He's jumping on every single bandwagon which has come out over the last few weeks, you know? Every little thing that happens in the country, which say our Labour government has been doing when we've been trying to correct a few problems, he's been jumping on that bandwagon. Oh, this, oh, that. And he's tearing people's minds apart, yeah? He's an absolute racist pig, and he should back off, yeah?
What do you think of Tommy Robinson?
An absolute fucking mug, and he needs to stay in Leicester.
He's a legend.
He's a fucking
He's
mug.
a legend.
He's a mug.
He's a legend.
He's a fucking mug.
He's a fucking legend.
Which party would you vote for?
He's a legend.
I don't vote for no parties. No
Stands
parties
up for the British people.
No, he doesn't. He stands
He
up
does.
to Israel telling him what to do, yeah?
Israel is good.
Israel's not good.
Tommy Robinson's a legend.
Israel bomb children, yeah? Innocent children. They're not good at all.
Palestine don't.
Palestine.
I'm
all
not.
them
I
Muslims
don't.
in Nigeria murdering all them Christians.
Yeah, Muslim
All
here,
of that.
Muslim there, Muslim there. Muslims are everywhere, bro.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
Exactly.
But
And
Tommy
that's
Robinson
the
is
same
doing
as
a
all
good
walks in life, yeah? The same as all walks of life is good and bad people, yeah?
That's it.
Yeah.
The government ain't no fucking
I
saint.
don't support no fucking government. I hate them, yeah?
Breaking manifestos,
Exactly, yeah.
tax after tax,
Yeah.
boat after boat.
In terms of the mask, would you mind telling my viewers what the history of this mask is and what it represents?
You know what the history of it means. If you
For
know
those
the
of my
past,
viewers
you
who-
know the history of it, yeah?
It's just to give a bit of background context to my viewers, maybe it's their first time watching this, but
It's an anonymous mask. It means you can be anonymous and hide behind the mask and say what you
Why
want.
is the turnout low?
Whether
this
it's
year?
race, whether it's hate, whether it's government, it's basically everything under one mask.
sorry, would you mind, I'll just set the camera up, in terms of why you're protesting?
It's just
So
is
in
what
terms
it
of
is.
today's
We're here
protest,
for the digital ID. We're here for
Why
the
are you here
digital
today?
ID. Digital ID. We don't want no digital ID. It's control. And then the social security and everything like that. You know, you see on Tesco online, they're putting weighing things talking about theft. Weigh your trolley for theft. Well, this is not about theft. It's about, oh, you got too much shopping this week, put some back. It will start with, oh, it's theft. And then once everything's introduced, it's, oh, you got too much chicken this week, put some back. If that's the life you want to live, live it. China already living under that. We don't want that. We want freedom. Why do I need to show you a digital ID to say, oh, I want to buy a pint in the pub? I've got driving license, I've got birth certificate, I've got passport. Why is that not good enough? 1 minute it's mandatory, you must have it to work. Next minute it's not mandatory. Make your mind up. Manifestos are there and then they break this one, they break that one. Reeves has broken this. No one does nothing. Innocent man murdered on the street. No one says nothing. A car gets burned outside a mosque and they got £10 million. Make it make sense. Children are starving. Families can't feed their kids. Going to food banks are empty. But you burn a car outside the mosque and all of a sudden £10 million pops up. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think
Make it
that's
make
all,
sense.
it's all intentional? Do you think they're allowing...
The government, it's all under one spiral, isn't it? It's all a load of fucking shit. What can we do?
Who do you think's running the show?
The government, whoever's in control of the government. You got a king of the country and he don't do nothing. What does he do? Sits in his little palace with his sausage fingers and does nothing. And then all the country come out when they do their big parade and all of that. What are you coming out for? What are they doing for you? They're taxing everywhere you go.
What do you think regular people can do? Like, what advice would you give to people?
Don't get drawn into it. Do what you're doing, and if you've got enough money, move out the country, because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. You know, like innocent man got killed in West London. No one said nothing. No one said nothing. And then a couple of days later, you got the train attacks, and all he puts in is a few words. Well done to the emergency services. What about the victims that lost their lives? Or I don't know if they have lost their lives, but what about them that were injured? Scared to go out, PTSD, can't go anywhere. Okay, they say it was a British male, but he's probably a Muslim convert or revert, whatever it is. And then he's been radicalised, or maybe he's not even reverted, he's just been radicalised. But because he's born here and he's British, they say, oh, it's a British man. They won't tell you it's a British Muslim man, because the minute they put Muslim on it, the country will go up in the air. So, you know, make it make sense.
The police reported they were black.
Yeah, they were black.
One black, one Caribbean.
Black, white, you know, Muslims, Afghans, enough's enough, and nobody's doing nothing about it. Sadiq Khan's been mayor for 7-8 years. He's the highest paid politician now, after his new pay rise. What's he doing? People getting their phones snatched off the street, and you're putting mind the gap, mind the, you know, the snatch. Like we're not taking the Piccadilly line where it says mind the gap. Mind the snatch. Do more. You're shutting down police stations, desks. For what? People out here don't want to go on the train, get stabbed. Don't want to walk down the street with their phone, it gets robbed.
Do you think they're allowing all of this chaos, like, it's been building up so they could implement digital ID? 'Cause that's
maybe they are, maybe they ain't. No, it's not for me to say. I don't really know too much whether they are, whether they ain't. Maybe they are, maybe they ain't. They said this digital ID is going to be mandatory. But then he comes out and said it's not mandatory. If you want to pay a fine, it's £85. So, you know, and then apparently it's to tackle illegal immigration. Put Border Patrol on the thing, stop the boats, detain them there, and then you don't need to do digital ID. You don't need to do this. It's just, you know, you're creating a problem to find a solution that is going to help everyone, but it's not. It's all about what they want and what they want only. Yeah? Sweet.
Sorry, man, it's all right. Sorry, you were interviewing.
Yeah, good, thanks.
All good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yeah, that was good. Wesley in the house. How you doing? You okay? Good to see you. Yeah.
Listen, the minute you open your mouth, is that live?
Yes.
Oh, no, first that one.
Don't say nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing, but then he went on about...
Guys, we got Wesley Winter here, and you're here to cover the protests, which is supposedly meant to be happening fairly shortly.
Yeah, well, I think there's more people with cameras here like yourself than protesters, so we'll see how we get on. It's been quite under wraps, this protest. I don't know how many people are going to come, but we'll see.
We have seen a few police vans, a bit of a police presence already in Trafalgar Square, but do you see this as potentially getting bigger throughout the evening, and maybe, as it did previous years, it marched off somewhere?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've been told there's another protest going to Scotland Yard around like 7 o'clock or something, so maybe the numbers might be a bit like spread out. So yeah, we'll just have to see, I guess.
Wesley, thank you very much for your time. Good to see you. Yeah. How are you? Okay. Good to see you. Yeah. That's right, right? Yeah. Yeah. There's some people on the other side. Gonna come. We're gonna go. Let's go this way. No, there's people over there. There's something going on over there.
Are they strangers or what?
Excuse me, sir. Why are you here today?
To say no to digital ID.
And why do you think digital IDs are a bad thing? Specifically.
I ain't got a fucking clue. I couldn't give a shit about the digital ID or not, but I'm saying to you, we already have pretty much everything that's digital anyways. When it comes to passports, bank cards, the whole lot. Why is there such an uproar with the digital ID? Can I ask you? I'm asking you.
I'm interviewing you.
I'm asking you back a question. Why do people have a big... You're Lewis, isn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Why do people have... And you. Why do people have a big issue with the digital ID? Do you have a problem with the digital ID?
I just interview. I can't express my views, but I gather a lot of people I've spoken to here, the vast majority.
I share my views with you.
I have to be impartial, but I'm here to cover the protest.
I'm impartial as well, but I can say it to you that personally, depending on what comes behind the digital ID, people need to look into that a lot more before deciding like how they feel about it. Do you know much about the digital ID yourself?
Done a lot of research into it.
Have you? And just to ask you a question, if you answer a question if you can, do you have a concern about it? You personally?
I've spoken to many people with concerns, probably at least.
But you, no, I'm not asking about other people, I'm saying you. Do you? Do you, personally, are you worried about, if you've done research into it, are you worried?
We can discuss it off camera. But
All right, that's fine. We'll discuss it off camera. Enjoy your reading.
Why would you discuss it on camera? I don't want to discuss my views. I don't express my own views.
I know as a journalist, it sort of maybe makes other people then contradict your viewship and interview stuff. But I think even as an interviewer, so we have our right to express as well.
So much divided.
I know it's hard trying to find that balance. I've sat on the fence one with it as well.
Yeah, it's not saying offensive, it's just not expressing.
Yeah, I know. But I see you rock up to these things and
just
you do your bit.
Just to cover, yeah.
Let people know how you feel as well. Because it's not just about everyone. Because obviously you're just getting everybody's message
Getting the
out.
coverage, yeah, just getting the coverage.
But you are people as well. You're relevant as well, you understand? So your opinion matters also. Express it, my boy. You're good people, I know you are.
You recognise me from Canary Wharf?
Yes, I recognise you from Canary Wharf.
Yes,
I've seen you before. Yes, your friend.
I want the guy who was on the ground.
Oh, was that a few weeks ago?
No one doing the bike. So
yes.
And you were falling the floor.
Yes.
The black geezer, that's my
Yes.
friend.
Isaac.
Yeah. Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one's going to talk to you.
So I don't know. Like, I've got a season ticket.
Blending, like, yeah, I'm a YouTube streamer. But then later on tonight, you'll see it on ITV7. Apart from that.
We're currently broadcasting live and on the ground. As we see, we're in central London in Trafalgar Square, and a group of protesters are gathering behind me at the moment. And this is the annual Million Mask March, which takes place every year, most years. And this year, it's protesting against digital IDs. We've interviewed a lot of people already, and a lot of them have concerns about the implementation of digital IDs. Welcome onto the channel. My name is Louis Errington. I'm an independent journalist, and I cover a broad variety of protests and events on the channel. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. The sole purpose of us being here once again today is not to obviously express my own view, but we're here to cover the actual protest event itself in an unbiased form, show what's happening live and on the ground in central London to the viewers, so you can make up your own minds. But I would never express my own view on whatever protest I cover. It could be any protest, I'll be covering it, but I wouldn't express my own view. So the main reason why we are here is to cover this particular demonstration, which is the annual Million Mask March, and also dubbed as the anti-digital ID protest. And it's happening throughout this evening, and it'll be taking place throughout this evening. There's a bit of a police presence here at the moment, as we see, and I can see a few flags and a few people turning up, as we see, in anonymous masks, which symbolise their annual event.
Bollard, yeah. One of them. about the protesters, Louis? Where are they?
Okay, buskers, we see there are there's a number of people here today. They're protesting against, let me just turn on the lighting so the viewers can see. There's a couple dozen protesters here tonight. They're gathering against digital IDs. This is also the annual Million Mask March, which does take place every year, and it happens on a yearly basis. So a few years ago, it was more of an anti-lockdown event, but this year it is against digital IDs. And they're behind me, as we see, gathering, wearing their anonymous masks to symbolise their annual event. Hiya. How are you? You okay? Good to see you. You okay?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to ask questions.
Never mind. No, it's it's fine.
Still don't know what's happening.
It's fine. It's the anti-digital ID.
Oh yeah, we knew that.
Hotel, I've got some of the cars. There's a premiere going on behind now.
Well, right now?
Yeah.
Wait, can we get it?
Leicester Square.
Oh, Leicester Square right now. We can go after. It's still happening. You're on TikTok right now.
Is it Glenn Powell?
What?
The actor Glenn Powell?
I think so.
He's down at the coffee, but he went out the side door.
Do you know which film it is?
They were waiting for him, and they looked at him through the carpet, and they were out front waiting for him.
Seriously?
Three other actors came out and got them.
Wow. Look, I got this microphone holder right now. I got a mic holder. Tap this on.
Oh, man. That's what you like, bro.
Your first shows have been attacked by the media.
Oh.
So you fucking did that to me in front of me.
Oh, because you was in the listing group, okay. Yeah.
So am I blocking your view? Okay.
Oh, I don't know about it. Well, I reckon I know.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
When is enough, there's enough. You can say this for years, but still just dying down.
I got my mic holder now, finally.
Nice.
It's useful.
When are you going to get your name on it, man?
Yeah, my logo. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Okay.
Apparently the Million Man March is like Mark Lodge.
I'll stay there.
How are you? Good, thanks. How's it been?
Yeah, quiet. Can't believe all the rumours of hearing. Yeah, we're trying to find out what's going on.
We're currently broadcasting live and on the ground in central London, Trafalgar Square, as we see a group of protesters are currently gathering for the annual Million Mask March, also known as the Anti-Digital ID protest, which is going to be taking place throughout the course of this evening. Welcome onto the channel. My name is Louis Errington. I'm an independent journalist and I cover a broad variety of protests and events on the channel. So if you're new, be sure to share this stream with your friends and family and also hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video.
Two people. Two bloody people. You don't bring kids and families into this stuff.
You alright, Louis? Yes, good, thank you. How are you doing? Okay. Good to see you. You live and on the ground?
Yeah, live and direct.
Nice.
Live and direct.
Live and on the ground.
On the AY show today.
Say it loud, say it clear.
The AY show is fucking here. You like it as well, Louis?
Love that.
Waiting for everyone to turn up.
So Oxford Street, get some Oxford Street. They're marching from Oxford Street, basically. What? Oxford Street.
Who said?
Apparently Scotland Yard as well.
Yeah, that's at 7.
For
another protest.
Oh no, take 10 minutes to get to Scotland Yard then.
Mate, you must have a car bump today. Yeah, I bet I have. You've been sat in a fucking office.
How many steps have I done? 10,175.
Where's Alan? Let's see who he's watching. Is he offline at the moment? Hello.
Hey, oi, Louis boy.
What's that? Police helicopter.
Mate, yeah. Blanket. I think he's following up. Mate, Louis, that's a trip hazard, mate. You nearly tripped me up, mate. That's a trip hazard, my friend. Can you get that in?
I'm not too sure if you can see clearly on the stream, but there appears to be a helicopter. We're not too sure. It could be a police helicopter, but we're not entirely sure. And it's hovering just above or near Trafalgar Square. But there appears to be, I'll just zoom out slightly. Yeah, appears to be a police helicopter. Well, we're not too sure, it could be any helicopter, but there is a helicopter hovering just near Trafalgar Square, about 1,000 feet above.
I bet Tony's got Bobby down there.
Live in on the ground.
Scotland Yard, see what's going on. Apparently there's a counter-corruption protest. See what's going on. If not,
yeah, you did. You typed it yourself.
I've been here since half 4 and no one's here. None of us. Yeah. Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard.
No. Yeah, we said you typed it yourself.
Someone's had their phone snatched. Cannes London for you.
They won't be doing anything about it.
They won't do nothing about it, will they? Fly a British flag, you get nicked. Nick someone's phone. Not interested.
He was shaking in front of me.
Let me set up.
No, I didn't come.
Right.
Fucking hilarious.
Anarchists, yeah. Anarchists. Far left scumbags. Extremists. No. Yes. Yes. Make me fuck off. Make me fuck off. I bet you wouldn't show your face. Well, I'm glad because I use facial recognition. I'll bet you. Yeah. Oh, you're the biggest mistake you ever did, mate. I promise you. Yeah. Look online in the next couple of days, you'll find out. I promise you. I'll find you. Antifa Public Watch, find me. Antifa Public Watch, come and find me. Come find me. Yeah, biggest mistake we'll ever do. I think it's not, guys. You'll see, won't you?
How the fuck do you not still walk in there, let alone fucking family always comes first.
It's unbelievable.
Damn.
Have you filmed anything? I filmed someone throw a bottle of can or something towards the other protesters. Do you want to go to, apparently there's New Scotland Yard, there might be something. Do you want to head there quickly? It's just down the road. Do you want to head to Scotland Yard? What do you reckon we do?
Strobe light.
Yeah, so the Premier. Should we head New Scotland Yard, do you reckon?
What do you think there's going on there?
Huh?
What do you think there's going on there?
Apparently there's going to be a protest at 7 o'clock.
Who's that?
It's similar to this. I'll just check on other. Not too sure.
Why don't you come and walk that way?
We're going to be making our way towards New Scotland Yard because we have information there could be a protest similar to this one happening there at 7 o'clock. So we're going to do a bit of a walk around. If there's nothing at New Scotland Yard, we'll head back towards Trafalgar Square. Let's go now. I think it's down that way, and then we can probably head via Whitehall. It's this way. We're going to be making our way towards New Scotland Yard, so we should be there within a few minutes. But if there's nothing at New Scotland Yard, we'll head back towards Trafalgar Square. It's more that way, yeah. Really? Or for horse guards?
No, the Beatles just make a move.
Oh wow.
It's Scotland Yard next. This is where the old Scotland Yard building here.
check if there's anything at
This used to
Scotland
be the
Yard.
Scotland Yard building. This was the special one, Scotland Yard building.
Really?
This used to be the Scotland Yard police headquarters, that building now. It was
Oh, wow.
Scotland Yard headquarters once.
Yeah.
Now it's not. It's got a new Scotland Yard, which is down this way.
I think it does work.
I know.
For what?
Let them close the horse boxes.
Or for horse guards?
Still open. Well, we go, they're pissing in you. Well, boys, if you're awake, go shut the doors. Someone's got to piss in you. It won't be ready.
You hear that? You hear that?
What is it? It's flags.
Just head over there.
Palestine.
Let's see. Okay, this Ukrainian demo. Pablo.
Isn't that Pablo?
Yeah.
Why would you play that when we got a Sunday? Yeah, I think the easy place is all right.
I do know, but
We're just passing a Ukrainian demo.
Every single one of us knows that Putin is really scared of dying. He's really clinging to life, the old man. He really doesn't want to die. And the joke is that he goes to a soothsayer. And he asks that soothsayer, tell me, how are you, Baska? Tell me, which day am I going to die on? And the soothsayer says, you are going to die on the day of a great feast. On the day of a great celebration. And Putin asks, which celebration? Which day is that? Any day. Any day you die will be a great celebration. That's what the soothsayer replies. Now, my friends, it truly will be a great celebration when the grandpa in the Kremlin, the bunker grandpa as he's sometimes referred to, is going to kick the bucket. For the United Kingdom
About
as well,
a few minutes away from New Scotland Yard. Supposedly there might be a protest happening there, but we're not entirely sure. And in addition to the Million Mask March, there's a Ukrainian protest opposite Downing Street near the Montgomery statue in Whitehall. It's a good photo for TikTok.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
You haven't seen anything?
No. You can speak or no?
What's the flyer for?
Louis and Busker.
Have you seen anything?
No, we thought this was them.
What are you doing?
That's a
Oh.
Go on, Louis.
Do you have the flyer for the Scotland Yard protest? Because maybe they're marching from 7 and they're going to arrive later.
Yeah, no.
Assuming that could be the case.
I didn't get that one. Oh, there's some flags here. What are all these? That's
It's
something.
a Ukrainian demo.
There was Antifa at Trafalgar Square. There was a few that they were not recognised.
How can we implement rules that will enable the Russians who oppose their regime to be able to life in the West and make life more difficult for those who support their regime? It's very simple, my friends. We declare Russia a terrorist state, support their opposition, and oppose Russia at every single facet of existence on the global stage. This, my friends, this is what needs to happen. For this country to have a better future, Russia must be weakened as much as humanly possible, for it is the #1 geopolitical enemy of this country. By far, the biggest threat. Oh, do you think so, my friend? Do you really think so? Or are you just taking the piss? Anyway, we got some funny fellas here. Have a nice day, guys. Alas, my friends, the people who truly do support Putin, I don't think this fella does with this joking around. But anyway, the people who truly do support that, we don't mind hearing their point of view. Sometimes ask, oh, you support Russia? But they don't know what to say, they have no idea. It's like that movie. You're asked how much your chip is.
Going on there with the blue lights, see? It looks like it stopped there, so there's blue lights flashing there, look.
Well, that's...
It looks like they stopped there.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, they're coming down.
Bonfire night. Maybe it's for bonfire night. Maybe someone set their bonfire too much. There should be something happening.
Go left and right.
I remember I saw a flyer somewhere for this march, this other march.
Someone got me a ticket for the New Year's Eve.
Really?
Fireworks, yeah.
Do you go to it?
Yeah.
Nice. I need to check if there's been anything.
Very old cowboy too. Old school.
This wasn't great stuff.
Where is everyone?
We don't know. Yeah. We're heading back there. Let's head back.
Staying in
No, it's not. Oh, wait. Back to Trafalgar Square.
Nothing going on.
Did you go to Scotland
Firstly,
Yard?
have you seen anything around here?
I've just seen you, mate. Literally it. No one turned up.
Because we have information there could be a march
Was it?
from 7 o'clock heading
Okay.
to New Scotland Yard, but we're not entirely sure on the
Yeah,
details.
I've got some streams up, so I'll have a look and just see.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Thank you then. Okay, we're going to keep the stream on just in case, but for the time being, so we're back at Trafalgar Square. As we see, there's a bit of a police presence here. However, there doesn't appear to be much of a crowd, so we'll keep the stream on, but in fact, we're going to be pausing the stream. So I'll resume the stream if anything happens, but for now, I'm going to be pausing the stream, and I'll try find out if there's anything else, if there's anything going on. But for the time being, there's a bit of a police presence, 2 police vans just parked outside the Canadian Embassy. Yeah, we'll be pausing the live broadcast just for a short while whilst I try my best to find out if there's anything happening. So we'll try our best here. Can't guarantee anything at the moment, but we'll see if there's anything going on. And yeah, I'll be pausing the stream and then I'll unpause it if there's anything worth to film. So please bear with. We'll keep the stream on, but we'll just have it paused for the time being. Okay, so we have some information that there could be something going on more towards Parliament Square. I can hear, it appears there are fireworks, but I'm not entirely sure on the exact details. But we're making our way there right now. So we should be there shortly. Please bear with. Thank you for staying tuned. There does appear to be something going on. It appears it's near New Scotland Yard, so we're making our way there right now. Stay tuned.
If you disagree, you have the right to disagree with what the Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Слава нації! Україна! 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 Героям України тричі! Слава! Слава! Слава!
خلصنا من الحرب السياسية.
So yeah, if everyone could just I will hand you over to Lydia, who is the lead for Intellectual Uprising, who are organising marches.
He's the mime. He's the mime.
You know him?
Oh, you made it. He's the mime. Does all that, you know that.
Yeah, they come over Westminster and just march around here, so...
Do you know him?
Yeah.
When did you start doing the mining? This is
So, hi everyone. As Izzy just said, my name's Lydia. I am the Brighton City lead for Intersectional Uprising. I'm a feminist activist and a disability advocate, as well as a criminologist, currently studying to become a forensic psychologist. I want to talk to you today about the criminal justice system, looking specifically at the police, courts and the prison system, and how these institutions are built to benefit men, and how women are suffering because of it. So the UK police currently has only around 30% of its workforce represented by female officers. With the greatest percentage of police officers being male, the approach to policing will naturally side with the male perspective, despite this not being representative of the wider population. This is prevalent worldwide, with many countries still only allowing women to work in gender-specific roles within the police. Even within the police force itself, female officers have reported experiencing discrimination, harassment and prejudice because of their gender. Despite Cressida Dick, the former commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Service from 2017 to 2022, being female, the police watchdog still found disgraceful misogyny, discrimination and sex harassment among some Met PCs. This was all during her time in the position. This would suggest a wider issue where the heterosexist male culture has become widespread. A clear example of this is the handling of the Sarah Everard murder, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. where the police officer Wayne Couzens used his power to kidnap his victim before raping and murdering her. The women gathered in protest following the murder, and they were met with aggressive and heavy-handed officers who were later found to be in breach of the human rights of these protesters when they were taken to court. The police culture of machismo has real-world effects on perpetrators and victims. For example, as Alison Turner, who is a professor in criminology and policing, points out, any misogynistic attitudes held by officers and demonstrated through humour will permeate into subsequent dealings with women as members of the public. As a consequence, women's trust in the police is declining, and crimes, especially surrounding domestic violence, go unreported because the victims may feel as if they're being punished again just by coming forward. The construction of gendered perspectives by the police force can also feed into male perpetrators who are then able to manipulate domestic abuse situations by representing the victim as the perpetrator, by causing blame, and they're deemed responsible through a misogynistic lens. For example, perpetrators can be more likely to get away with accusing their victim of lying in an incident where bruises may be hard to detect on a woman of colour, who may then not be taken seriously when reporting violence. Despite this level of prejudice, men are far more likely to be seen as perpetrators, especially in cases of domestic violence, but also more broadly. Here they may be seen as victims of their own masculinity, where they feel bound to conform to gender stereotypes and hegemonic masculinity, in which violence and aggression are celebrated. Women, however, are also viewed through a gender normative lens by the police force, whereby chivalry exists as the stage of arrest for those women who display appropriate gender behaviours and characteristics. Suspects who deviate from stereotypic gender expectations lose the advantage, and they may be extended to female offenders. We can see, therefore, that policing, which is the starting point for punishing crime, takes varying approaches when presented with issues of gender. In general, it conforms to expected gender norms and fashions a dangerous culture for punishment, both inside and outside of its ranks. Just as the police are overrepresented by male officers, the court system shows no improvement, with just 11% of permanent judges being women. The UK did not have a woman appointed to the High Court until 2004, and at least 29 countries have never had a female justice in their High Court. An absence of women in decision-making positions likewise has significant consequences. As researcher Jennifer Peretti found, female judges were significantly more likely than male judges to fine for plaintiffs. The presence of a female judge might increase the likelihood that a male judge will support the plaintiff in gender-coded cases. This is particularly relevant in cases primarily affecting women, such as rape and domestic violence. In 2021, 67,125 rape offences were reported to the police, although the dark figure of this might actually be higher, but just 1,557 were prosecuted. These figures clearly demonstrate how the potential influence of a female justice may act to change these statistics by influencing male judges, as rape is often a gender-coded case. Often in cases such as these, the future of the young man accused might be considered and can act as an excuse for leniency, showing little regard to the changed life of the victim. However, when a woman commits a crime, she's seen as double deviant, meaning that not only is she punished for committing the crime itself, but also for not meeting the standards of gentleness and kindness expected by society of the female gender. The same expectations are not assumed of men, who are instead characterised by the presumed aggression and dominance of hegemonic masculinity. Men and women are not treated the same, and this leads to a lack of true justice not being carried out. Once convicted by the courts, many perpetrators are sentenced to custody. Men and women are kept in separate facilities, with males making up 96% of the total prison population, and females only 4% in England and Wales. Globally, there are nearly 11.5 million people in prison, with 10.5 million of these being male. Elizabeth Fry was one of the first to call for freedom in women's prisons, as she recognised the differences between the needs of incarcerated men and women. Despite her work towards meaningful change, today the prison system does very little to cater for the differing needs of female inmates, with the system built around the overwhelming percentage of male inmates. While men's prisons internationally are sites of violence, status and hierarchy, prison masculinities are more complex and diverse and contradictory than hypermasculinity alone. It should be said that male prisons not only deal with extreme violence and aggression, but also with issues of poor hygiene, overcrowding, and increased rates of suicide worldwide. But the focus today will be on women's prisons, as they are in the minority and therefore less considered. As the number of women incarcerated is much fewer than that of men, the number of prisons is also less. Therefore, many women are displaced from their families as they are moved away from their communities, making it difficult for loved ones to visit. Recidivism is actually encouraged by visitation. Not only is it difficult for the women who are incarcerated to be apart from their families, but children are made particularly vulnerable by this, as over 3/4 of incarcerated women have children, and the majority are primary caretakers, as well as 6% of women who are pregnant upon incarceration. This is a unique problem for women who do not have the traditional responsibility, who also have the traditional responsibility of raising their children, but also experience a difference in healthcare throughout their pregnancies, and then have to go through the emotional turmoil of having their child taken away from them at such a young age. As well as family life, their own personal well-being is broadly overlooked. More than 4 in 10 women reported abuse. 54% of women were drug users compared to 50% of men, and 11% of women were admitted to mental health facilities prior to incarceration, highlighting a clear need for a provision of mental health support. It's clear that abuse of women is far more common than that of men, with 1.6 million women and 712,000 men expecting domestic abuse in England and Wales from 2023 to 2024. An appropriate response to these health, well-being, family and childcare needs would be gender-responsive strategies which were developed to underpin and advance gender justice and recognise women's histories of abuse, trauma and addiction. Not only does this strategy look after women emotionally, but also offers practical support, such as housing, education and healthcare, extending to women's children and families. Rehabilitation for men in prisons is often looks like work and education programs, which offer practical life skills such as labouring or craftsmanship, and alcohol and drug treatment programs for addictions. Even though these life skills would also benefit women, and despite the figures suggesting greater need for drug treatment against female inmates, rehabilitation has historically taken a different shape in women's prisons. Regimes of femininity trained women into gender-normative activities such as cooking and sewing, as well as placing value on traditional feminine behaviour in order for them to be considered rehabilitated, instead of recognising the differences between men and women and working to close the gap by meeting individual needs. This strategy widens it by reinforcing gender stereotypes, which is not useful to women trying to rebuild their lives, or the community, which inmates may one day reintegrate with. It can be argued that prisons reinforce binary gender norms and go further than just reflecting them, but also propagate them. Gender-responsive programming explicitly legitimises punishment by making it more suitable for women and therefore consistent with notions of rights and gender equality. If men and women were treated equally in the prison system, the idea that men are dangerous and women should be gentle and domestic may not be so prevalent. Although this would undoubtedly still focus on the needs of the majority, which as it stands is male. So in conclusion, there is no simple answer to solve these debates around sex and gender in the criminal justice system. But the real question we should be asking ourselves is, why are we prioritising punishment over well-being? And if you agree that well-being should be focused on in public services, then hopefully that's why you've come today, and I hope you'll agree. So, sorry, that was a bit long, but thank you for listening. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, there is no answer really. I just want to welcome up next Sophia. She is going to be speaking from the heart. She has lived experience. I don't want to say anything more, so that's it. Everyone, welcome Sophia. Woo! Sophia!
Oh, just hold it, yeah. Yeah, pull the trigger, like hold the trigger. Yeah.
I'm trying to say thank you first of all for Izzy creating her...
Closer.
Oh, that's not closer? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to firstly say thank you for Izzy for creating this platform despite all her trauma, her grief and her lived experience. It can't be easy to day in, day out share this platform for other survivors that have gone through abuse. And I think a lot of us here tonight have a lot in common, and that's at the point of access when we've needed support, we've been misjudged, we've been misdiagnosed, silenced and unheard. So I'm here tonight because I have been misrepresented and unheard in the family court, and whilst I'm unable to speak about any specific matters in the family court, I do want to share some of the recent landmarks. So if any survivors of family court are here tonight, I'm sure some of that will be given them a bit of glimmer of hope as well. And recently, Dr. Charlotte Calvert, who's a very well-known barrister and women's rights activist, has been doing a lot of work with rights for equality, and she's managed to get central government, I believe, in acknowledging that the presumption of family contact with abusive parents who sexually abuse their children, in those cases parental responsibility will be removed. Oh, okay, my really can't, sorry. Okay. So in those cases, parental responsibility is going to be removed, and that will be helpful for some of us too. And I think it gives us a lot of hope. Another landmark change that has happened is an expert by the name of Melanie Gill, who 5 years ago made some very unfair just findings in the family court, and subsequently saw a mother and her children separated. Has in a landmark change that the High Court has recently overruled, it's now been found that hopefully all cases where expert witnesses have been unfairly diagnosing and making findings about safe parents. This is something that's hopefully going to change for the community too. So essentially, guys, what happens to all of us, whatever system we've been unfairly judged by, we become silent, we become unhinged, we'll end up getting gagging orders. If you're in the family court, you'll end up going to prison. You can talk about the specifics, and we just have to live in the hope that any small changes can equate to helping these wonderful young children who are merely just existing and haven't asked to be part of this system and being monetised out of. So thank you for listening. I just want to mention, in the last couple of months, as a result of my lived experiences, I have started up an emergent storytelling documentary making programme. And if there's anyone that wants to come forward that isn't sure or is a little bit uncertain about how to keep their anonymity, I am able to blur their faces out or change the tone of their voice by working with someone in post-production, so that we can keep these stories out there and hopefully make change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Yeah, I get so many stories daily from people who have been separated and judged and dragged through the horrendous family court system, social services, and it's sickening, and I don't know how people sleep at night, and that's just like one of the many things I'm going to campaign about, because it's disgusting, it's people's lives, it's children, and what is that doing for the children and the mother, and what is that doing for society, separating? It's just gonna pass this over to Pelham, right, really cross, but yeah, please welcome Pelham, all the way from the States. I'm gonna let her tell her story.
Alright, now I'm gonna go through the same process. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Izzy. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for including me. My name is Pelham Spong. I'm a survivor of Mohammed Fayed and sex trafficking by the Paris Ritz and Harrods. As a young woman, I left my small hometown in South Carolina to pursue big dreams and adventures and moved to Paris, France. Far from home, struggling to pay rent. After a serious relationship ended, I was delighted when a recruiter reached out and told me about a personal assistant role working with a VIP. I thought my luck was about to change. What happened next followed a pattern of predictability my adult mind now recognizes as all too well. Promises of a job that was too good to be true, grooming and deception, and assault and the implied threat of consequences that would crush me were I to speak up. We've heard this story before, unfortunately. This time, the billionaire abuser was one of England's most famous grieving fathers, whose son lost his life in the most infamous car crash in history. To legitimize this fake job and quiet any hesitations I had, there were the gilded halls of the Paris Ritz, which he owned, the army of pretty young personal assistants, the cash, and the Eurostar tickets to take me back and forth to his crown jewel, Harrods. There was also the Ritz and Harrods assistants who arranged my trial week in London, the security guards who greeted me at 60 Park Lane behind a wall of CCTV monitors, the Harrods store approvals department, that onboarded me and gave me an ID card. The assistants that when I asked them if the story about the 15-year-old who had accused him of assaulting her was true, told me, nope, they made it up for money. The Harrods doctor who lied when she promised the surprise gynecological, that word's hard. And if you said it in French as many times as I did this week, you'd understand how hard it is. The Harrods doctor who lied when she told me that the surprise gynecological exam was going to be kept confidential. These were his enablers. So too were the four walls of the institutions whose facades were used to bait us, Harrods and the Ritz. And all the employees who knew very well what a chairman's candidate meant, who knew where the cash was kept and which fat envelopes needed to be distributed and to whom. The lawyers who knew exactly how to draft a life. See my hand?
Woo! Come on, get up! Come on!
All right. The lawyers who knew exactly how to draft a life-ruining NDA, and the security guards who were former Met police officers who knew exactly how to follow a woman home to scare her into silence. The team who arranged for new police cruisers and hampers to be delivered to the police stations. Fun fact, that was a really confusing article for me. We call them gift baskets, and a hamper is where you put your dirty laundry in the US. I think that would have been a little bit more fitting, don't you? Yeah. And here's what's shocking. My story is not an exceptional story. I'm standing here today as one of at least 400 women. My story is my own, but then again, it's not my own. It's one of so many. Some of them are so devastating they would never be shared publicly. I'm not here to speak for these women, but they are standing here with me. You can imagine this space beside me is filled with their pain and their wounds. And I can assure you there are wounds that were never healed and survivors who are no longer here because of this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
This is heavy.
Sounds.
Doing brilliant.
Yeah.
For each of these women who have shared their story with me, it has been an honor and a great burden. It has become my pain and my anger too, and it lives commingled with my story each time I tell this story. But what also lives with me is their strength, their commitment to fight. I first caught wind of this fighting spirit in 2017. I had a baby girl growing in my belly, and the world was on fire with the actions of Weinstein and Epstein and the words of Donald Trump on that Access Hollywood tape. In those words, I suddenly recognized the pattern. And that impunity that wealth tends to bring. And I realized that I couldn't have been the only one. I started to research Fayed again, and I made horrifying discoveries of other women who had come forward. And I remember all too well, like it was yesterday, the impulsive moment that I picked up the phone and called the London Metropolitan Police.
Boo! Boo the London Metropolitan Police! Boo!
One word! I felt hope. What I said to the detectives was clearly not a shocking allegation. It seemed like I'd said a magic word, and they all jumped to action. All I wanted was to help another woman, to stop him if he was still doing it, to give evidence that could help someone else's story. Maybe that 15-year-old who had accused him of the assault while I was there, or the young woman that I just read about who reported her 2013 rape to the police. I now know these women as Sophie and Francesca as they go publicly. I want to thank you both, if you ever see this, for your bravery in coming forward. The officer who was assigned to my case said all the right things. What happened was a crime. It was good I was reporting it. I was brave. It would help others. She believed me. She followed up a few leads I gave her. She told me she sent the French police to speak with the recruiter. She also told me not to talk to a lawyer or talk to the press because it could jeopardize my case if it moved forward. And so I listened. She told me she had asked for my medical records and new hire paperwork. Then something happened. The tone began to shift. His lawyers had gotten word of this. That's when the blow came. There will be no more investigation for now. His lawyers have told us that he's medically unfit to be questioned. I'm gonna take a second. We don't have enough evidence. Here's what's crazy. I gave them a mountain of evidence because every little thing I've said or did had a digital trace at that time. I'm American, right? I loved Facebook. She promised as soon as another victim came forward, my case would get flagged up again. I want you to remember that fact. Then in 2021, she told me another victim had come forward. Finally, of course, I agreed to let my evidence support my survivor sister. That's all I was waiting for. Instead, I was told the case was not going to be pursued based on the wishes of others. Wow. Maybe if another one came forward, so I waited. In August of 2023, the news that I had been dreading came. He died. I screamed. He would never be held accountable. But at least he couldn't do it again. Slowly but surely, the floodgates opened, and the news started to come out. 20 women became 40 women, which became 150 women, which became 400 women. We've counted ourselves. Those are just the ones that have come forward in the first year since this news story broke. It will keep going up, I promise you. But the headlines that stopped my world. The Met admits 21 people reported him, and nothing happened.
Shame.
21. I want that to sink in. 21 women.
Greg Wallace. Greg Wallace. 40.
Yeah. It's another.
21 women risked the threats, the fear, the risk of their privacy and safety to report a billionaire, and it wasn't enough. If you could hear the sound that my body made when it crumpled to the floor, the screams that sounded like the ones I made in childbirth, maybe then you could understand what that moment felt like for me. As I've gotten to know other survivors of the past year, I've now met at least 4 others who reported to the police in the same 3-month time span as me. Remember? Think of that. 5 women all reporting the same criminal actions of the same individual, one of whom even reported the crime of sex trafficking within the span of those 3 months. And yet, we were told that as soon as another one comes forward, your case will get flagged up. This isn't a failure of us not coming forward. This isn't a failure of us not having enough evidence. There was. He reported everything. If the police wanted the evidence, all they had to do was take it. It's been nearly a year since the police announced they were conducting a look-back investigation and following lines of inquiries into potential enablers. They announced that they had identified 5 or more potential enablers, and since then, they have interviewed 147 women and reviewed 50,000 pages of documents. and charge nobody.
Same. Once again, same.
Updates only started becoming more regular when a group of us approached the victim's commissioner to report on rumors of horrendously conducted interviews and an apathetic response to inquiries. And even then, promises have not been kept. They refuse to answer the most obvious questions, one of which, are you looking into the wider scale crime of sex trafficking? And the institutions that organized and facilitated this, they have informed us they are focusing on the acts of the individual. The charges that are the simplest to investigate. Accountability starts by naming the crime that happened. Unfortunately, since the Met refuses to answer if they are investigating the organized criminal acts of trafficking, I had to go to France to get this done, and I did that this week.
Shame.
Shame.
It happened here. It happened here. You shouldn't have to go to France. What the fuck? Sorry, it's just fucking disgusting.
Well, every once in a while, a little French-English rivalry goes a long way, right?
One more bad day from...
It's fairly evident why, when you read those headlines, 400 women, 21 police reports, a billionaire, campers, police cars, the Met. You can read what happened there. As an American, I assumed the Brits would get it right. From my perspective, our ancestral parent country has always seemed more socially progressive.
It's a lie. Money talk. Even Sherlock Holmes knew that the poshest were the most predator. And they used the most obfuscative language. Same but different. It's got worse. What year are we in? 1890?
Yeah,
It feels like it.
basically. You got them.
Unfortunately, and I think that the Epstein survivors and the Weinstein survivors that I have met would agree, where wealth and power exist, so too does the means and power to corrupt the systems designed to treat us all equally. But what those same sisters have taught me is that making noise works. Woo! When the institutions that are supposed to protect us fail us, we must fight.
Yeah.
Is it fair?
Yes. Yes.
It's not. I don't carry this. Okay, that was a good answer.
The UK needs to understand and relearn what the safeguarding duty actually means.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
They should all be ashamed.
Absolutely. Yes. Is it exhausting to have to raise our voices and stomp our feet over and over again? Yes. But we must have faith that when we can't carry the load anymore, someone else will be grateful that we carried it this far.
Yes.
And they will pick it up and they will keep going forward with it.
Absolutely.
I'm here to make a plea to the police. You failed us over and over again. You failed your colleagues though, and you failed yourself. But you can make a difference and deliver some degree of accountability for us. See the bigger picture. Go after the highest levels of enablement.
Yes.
Even if they are within your own house.
Yes.
Call this what it was, a corporatized, organized criminal sex trafficking ring operated internationally.
Yeah.
Put the resources on this to act swiftly and competently. Remove the bad apples. Do what you're here to do. Protect the public. If 400 of us can't help prevent this happening again, what will? And that...
Protect the public, not the predators.
Thank you so much. Honestly, every story that we hear is heartbreaking, it's infuriating. I'm trying to watch my language and trying to keep my inner rage in a respectful way. I don't know who wants to go next. Carisha, do you want to say a few words, or Leah?
Do you want to go? I'll go. I don't mind.
You want to?
Let's go, let's go.
Woohoo! Okay, coming up, Carisha.
Yeah, just hold it like a, yeah.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming out this evening. I know it's cold, but listen, we're all here for a cause at the end of the day, and we're all here for a reason. My case is a little bit different. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I've just left the tribunal, and my case is going to be seen again because a judge decided that he wanted to not do his job the first time round, and another judge has seen it and decided actually there's a lot to answer here from the first judge. So in 2021 I was working in a nursery within the United Synagogue, and very quickly I realised that things weren't going right. There were members of staff abusing toddlers and babies. There were members of the Jewish community coming in, and they were going into rooms, and I weren't allowed in these rooms because I'm not Jewish, and they were abusing children sexually, physically, verbally, and it took me a year to figure out what I was going to do, simply because I didn't have my phone to record because it is a nursery. I was the only person of colour there and non-Jew, and it took for my manager to realise that I was getting much stronger in terms of saying how I felt about what was going on, and decided enough's enough, ran to my car and called everybody that I could. I called the police, I called social services, I called the NSPCC, I called Lado, Ofsted, everybody.
And I thought they did nothing, right? Yeah.
And unfortunately, the paperwork got lost. I had the police come to my house, lost. I had the police come to my house and basically switch their camera off and tell me to leave this one alone.
Oh my God.
It then took my Jewish colleague to then have sleepless nights, mental health, and all the rest. She wasn't a part of it. It took for her to then go to her rabbi to beg to go to the police and speak to the police about what was going on. And it was only at that point when my MP got involved and the police wrote a statement saying, yes, they believe all of these things happened, but unfortunately there was no CCTV. As a nursery worker, somebody who is well seasoned in my job, I know that we are the voice of these children, the eyes of these children and the ears of these children, and if we say that this is what's going on, it needs to be investigated, CCTV or not.
Absolutely. Where's the account?
No safeguarding. No
There was none. And basically, yeah. The reason I am here today is basically to say to the police what they are doing is wrong.
Absolutely.
What you are doing is setting a precedent for other abusers to do this to young children and get away with it because there is no CCTV. It's just laziness. It is. It's just pure.
Too much work, and once you unpick who's doing it, then the whole web. That's too much.
Yeah.
And it will relate back to a fucker and that. I'm telling you.
Well, talking about that, you then have the police. Then, when children do die in these circumstances, they then turn around and say things need to change. We need to do better. I remember the baby P story. I also remember the Christine Columbia story, the little girl, Victoria Columbia story. And in all of these stories, and just recently a little girl called Genevieve, you know, all of these stories, they all come out and they all say the same thing. Things need to change and we are going to do better. And time again, they don't. So my message to the system, the education system, the health system, and all the people that were okay with what was going on at the United Synagogue, I'm not scared You can stalk me on social media. I'm not scared, okay? I'm going to push this until the very end. I've always said it's not about money. I've been offered money. I've been offered life-changing money. And I've always said it's always about the children.
This is real safeguarding.
Can I also add that the parents, I went out of my way to find each parent on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I contacted each parent and told them what had happened to their children. And at first the parents supported me, but money speaks, and all of the parents accepted a payout and did not show up in court for me and did not come to the police. And it's their children. And these are their children. I am more worried and more bothered about their children.
Instead of getting forward, they get let out early and instead of to a fucking deportation centre. You see why the public feel the way they do? You see? It's the establishments. Let out fucking paedophiles early instead of supporting them, illegal migrants.
That's got nothing to do with the prison system.
But no, I'm not saying you do. I'm not blaming you. You, any of you personally. But can you see why the people feel the way they do?
You can see why they feel that about the prison service.
Well, the way the establishment, it's the government. They need to put imputations in place. Fucking sexually assault 14-year-old girl, get 12 months, let out 4 months. Do 4 months of prison, and they give him 500 quid because he kicks off before his flight. It's fucking hell, we're laughing stocks to the rest of the world. Stormer is a wanker. He is a wanker, bro. He is. You're smiling. Hey.
They're trying to have speeches and you're talking over them.
Go on, carry on.
I don't know why you can't just move him on. He's drunk and...
I want to ask you a question.
Why are they not moving him on?
Shush.
Can you just move
It's
along?
time for women to speak.
Could you move
That
along?
harm doesn't happen again.
Please, if I've got to do it for the police, please could you move along? You've been speaking throughout speeches about very sensitive matters.
Alright, go on. I'll move along then. Go on. I don't like this establishment either.
We've been here for 15 minutes, mate, so...
15 minutes, I'm 2 minutes, Bob.
I've never done anything like this before. But I'm here today because we've all had enough. So much bigger than the police. How many of you have been lied to by an institution? So many hands. How many of you have watched close ranks, deny what happened, protect your own reputation instead of doing what's right? How many of you have spent years, decades, waiting to be heard, waiting to be believed, waiting for action? That's what we're here to stop today. Not just to cover up, not just to lie, but a whole system that puts institutional reputation above human lives and truth and your future. Now we know that public institutions exist to serve us, the public, not the other way around. And we know what happens there. We know how it goes wrong. We know who gets hurt. And we know what we need to fix it. We said it. We know that scandals are still true. Grenfell, Inspector Blood, the Chinook scandal. There are so many scandals, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Look at the press yesterday about the post office scandal, and that Alan Bates finally getting justice. All that money, all that time, and for what? To
Just
avoid the
her will never
accountability
get her
that Helen
childhood
speaks
memories
of.
back though.
I know people want to say that's just how things are, and that institutions will always protect themselves, and that nothing's going to change. But you know what? What if something could change? What if it was possible to address the harm so that survivors can heal? 62% of the British public believe that survivors should be involved in deciding how institutions respond when a scandal causes harm. Not lawyers, not PR teams, but survivors. You should be involved. 53% of the public says that preventing future harm is so much more important than prosecution or compensation. But they want institutions to learn, to change, to actually stop causing the harm. The public knows what happens
We know what needs to happen. You know what needs to happen. So this is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for an independent office for institutional accountability. Not run by the institution. Answerable to the institutions. Independent. Survive for informed investigation. Co-led by people from the affected communities. Giving real power to the people affected by the institutions who have caused the harm. Giving real transparency so that everyone can know what has happened. We don't want more inquiries that take years. We don't want more apologies that change nothing. We don't want more procedures. We want solutions. But this isn't about revenge. It's about doing things better so that we make the changes we want to see. We know that Parliament is debating the Public Authority Accountability Bill because it passed its second reading yesterday. That means that we'll be debating the duty of candour. There's a limited amount of time to fight for this office. There's a limited amount of time for survivors to have an impact here. And so Address the Harm campaign is a home for survivors of all scandals of institutional harm to come together and to say we need this independent body. We need this independent body to give us a voice when we're not being heard. Because we are stronger together than we are apart. Together we can address the harm that we are facing in our public services. Together we can demand what we deserve as a public. Together we can force the government's hand and force them to give that accountability that all of your stories are desperate to see to ensure that it doesn't happen to somebody else. We're here today because we're not willing to accept anything less. We're here to say no more. No more corruption, cover-ups. No more putting institutions before people. We deserve the truth. And we have set out a framework for a blueprint to take this forward. We need acknowledgement. We need apology. We need accountability. We need amends. And we're going to keep fighting until we see that. So if you want to address the harm so survivors can heal, follow the Address the Harm campaign, support this office for independent accountability, email your MP, get in touch if you want to know how to help. But we are here to give you a voice and to help you to be heard in the halls of power so that the corruption can stop.
Are they still taking?
I just want to reiterate, go to addresstheharm.org.
Are they still taking cases for the committee for that act? Because that's really important.
So many services like internal professional standards. I need WTF, like marking your own homework. I mean, how transparent and how can you hold your own colleagues accountable when you know the loopholes? It doesn't make sense. Like, make it make sense. I don't know how many qualifications you need to have to work in these senior roles, which doesn't seem like any. I don't know your name because I've only met you tonight. Do you want to say a few words? And then I'll do the round. Beaver Meadow, please, welcome to the road stage. Okay, can you all hear me? Okay, if you can't hear me, like say speak louder, because I've not used one of these before. But I don't actually want to face you, I want to speak directly to New Scotland Yard! Who's angry? I'm fucking am I allowed to say fucking? Excuse me. I'm angry, and I'll tell you how angry I am. And why. My father is a 3-time convicted child sex offender who's back out into the community for a 3rd time with an offending history spanning 5 decades. And, if that's not bad enough, he's an associate of Jimmy Savile. Isn't it 3 strikes and you're out? Really? Are we really letting serial sex offenders out? Back into our community with no protection, no money, no safe house. So you really going to chemically castrate them all and think that we're going to be happy with that and that you're going to send them out into our community and say, yeah, well, early release. Well, at least we saved money on the overcrowding of prisons. It's disgusting. It's about putting profit over people. And we're not having it. We're not having it, and okay, that's my angry rant. Can we all take a deep breath together and like make some noise, like breathe out? It's a lot, isn't it? There's so much going on in the world, and like.
Thank you for allowing us to breathe. Breathe with this. Breathe out.
Because
It's really heavy and it's stressful, you know, we need to breathe.
It's heavy and it's on our shoulders, not the public services shoulders.
Yeah.
The people that go to work and do their job, but whereas we bear the brunt of the weight.
So yeah, I'm an incest survivor and my perpetrator is my biological father. He wasn't Asian. He was English, he was white, he was educated, he was religious. I did write a play called, I can't remember it now. Anyway. Oh, yeah, thank you. And he's still back out in the community, and I've been talking to Lord Timpson about it, and we want to know, Lord Timpson, what are you doing with the billions of pounds that you just announced for rehabilitating offenders in the community? How much of that is going to go towards rehabilitating our sex offenders when they come out of prison? That's what we want to know. We want transparency about where the money is going, because there's a lot of money in the Ministry of Justice, and us survivors aren't seeing any of it. And we all need compensation for all of the ways that social services abandoned us. And I want to just talk about my mother for a minute, because it's the anniversary of my mother's funeral. She committed suicide 22 years ago. And I'm the same age now as my mother was when she took her life. And she was another victim of my father, who let back out into the community after a third conviction, along with 7 other survivors of his. Well, actually not survivors, they're victims, because they're no longer here. They all are dead by suicide. Women are dying. They're either being murdered or they're suiciding themselves, because the shit that we have to go through, the re-traumatization, the silencing, the stonewalling, the fighting, the mental health issues, it's a lot. And I said I wasn't going to rant. I'm not ranting, it's the truth. It is the truth, but I just want to take a moment, if we could. I've got a candle in my pocket. I'd like to light a candle in memory of all of the women we've lost and all of the children we've lost. Yeah, I've got a lighter. And if we could just take a moment. Because women are dying and children are dying. Not on my watch. And Boudica, the statue of Boudica is right there on the bridge, pointing her spear towards the Houses of Parliament. And you know what happened to Boudica's daughters? The Romans came and raped them. So no wonder why Boudica was pissed, and she raised an army, and she raised London to the ground. Do you remember? Do you know your history? They got her in the end. But she fought. She tried, she raised it, she was angry, she used her rage and she took action. And at the moment all we have is our voice, but we will make you listen to us. We will find a way.
Don't forget Tommy Robinson.
I don't know anything about Tommy Robinson. Okay, well, women have
Let
the
us
microphone
think
at the
of
moment.
the women
so
that have
keep it-
committed suicide, please.
So can we all just turn around and look at the... Can we all just turn around and look at the beaver moon, the super moon? It's the biggest moon this year. It's the beaver moon in November. It's coincidental that my name is Beaver Meadow. Just one of those lovely random synchronicities. And then come back and face the candle. And anyone that you've lost, who've been harmed by our institutions, by our social services, by the mental health system, by the police, by the courts, by the justice system, by the ridiculous sentencing guidelines. CPS, thank you. And just think about in the... Look at the flame and just remember somebody that you've lost. There's a little memorial to them. Especially my mum. I really miss her. I miss my mum as well.
Second to last, I'll have I'm conscious of time and everyone's giving up their lovely time on bonfire night. But yeah, I wanted to pass over to Medusa.
Screaming Medusa.
Screaming Medusa.
Screaming Medusa.
At Screaming Medusa, so here we go.
So in a month's time, my embryos, my top grade embryos, have got to be defrosted because I've been trying to sort out a situation with the ICO for almost 3 years. And 2 weeks ago, I got released from the military suicide respite centre that it got that bad. And the thing is, I'm an anonymous voter, and I got my MP involved. My MP wrote to the ICO in March, and in the Houses of Parliament letter she told them that I am a disabled anonymous voter who's got ADHD and autism, and that I was already in crisis. That was written on Houses of Commons paper, and they then wouldn't protect my safe space address. They said that they couldn't safeguard my safe space address and that I had to go to court myself. So I got the letter from my mayor, I got the letter from everyone, and I'm like, and you know what? On the 4th of August last year, my emotional support dog died because I was in such bad disassociation that he was my first child, and I had travelled the world with him working on the dog book. This horrendousness is not my world. I'm an artist. I've done a BA, I've done an MA. I'm also, though, a member of the Sherlock Holmes Society of London. And also, I was spiked at a top members club years ago, so I know that predators hide behind masks. And I actually went to the same primary school as Andrew's daughters. I was on a Sunday Times fun run with Jimmy Savile, right? And I also, weirdly enough, during my my BA, put my hand up, ex-Prince Andrew spitting image puppet. So I'm like, what the fuck, right? So like, seriously, I have travelled the world and I've worked for women's organisations, but when I came back to the UK, so that, because I needed like 10 years away after being raped and escaping domestic violence in California, right? I came back for a massive data breach by a local ward councillor at a London Borough Council. And when it was brought to their attention, when my mother sent an erasure request, this councillor challenged my elderly mother. And then the head of the council has tried to cover it up. But you know what? Me and my best friend are lifelong Colombo fans, right? And the thing that is different now is that digital proof, the digital trail, that is always there. And you know what? It is an absolute miracle that the George Floyd video was never deleted, because they must all recognise now. Do you know what? I'm just asking the world to be kind and to stop abusing all these predators and all these people that literally do think that like we're still able to be thrown into bedlam, where people used to sell tickets to laugh at these women. A lot of raped women were in bedlam, by the way. What a flippin' surprise. And then when Sinead O'Connor's documentary, Nothing Compares, came out, she talked of how there was normalisation of fathers raping their daughters in families. And we're like, but also, do you know what my quote of the year is, right? Is same but different. Even this t-shirt, now I have, Scope said it to me, I literally circumnavigated every group. I've got an article by the Open Rights Group, I've got an article by PTSD UK, because I have been giving in my case to Parliament. But I also want to give my case, because you know what, finally my MP is now raising it to Minister Jess Phillips and Gillian Maron, right? Yay. But you know what? I've also checked out the Ombudsman and to see how they've dealt with cases in the past. Oh, if the case has gone through the investigation, let's sidestep. Not on my watch. My investigation hasn't even gone through. But I've got all the proof that they, do you know what? It's called dereliction of duty. And you know what? I am now a woman of a certain age. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? I just don't, I've literally, in a month's time, and that was the reason why I went to the matron, I've literally got to have my chance of motherhood unplugged. And I'm like, how does even someone deal with that? Because I had to get it done in the first place because I was so flippin' freshly raped that I only trusted the sperm donor. But can we all just flippin' all these people? And the fact that this is a local ward councillor who literally then shares my cease and desist letter, telling people that I was raped. She told the third party organisation. And you know what? These people, speaking to the speaker, these people are just like, all this blood, I don't know, sometimes I just wish for a tsunami because there needs to be this refreshment of blood. Yeah. So that's that really.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Just a bless for Tommy because he was my baby.
I appreciate everyone's stories are they're ever so heavy in so many different ways, but nonetheless so heavy. And I thank everyone for speaking and sharing and taking their time to come out. And I guess I'll just have like a 2-minute rant, I suppose. But thanks so much for coming. Since my family don't support me much because none of us sit in the police and friends seem to drop off. Thank you. Friends seem to sort of drop off when you challenge the status quo, and they also get intimidated by like emails being sent to CC control to not communicate with me. So I'm still yet to get that, and when I do, I'll be in court because that's legal. So yeah, I'm so grateful that everyone and anyone who turned up today. I always said if it was just going to be me, doing this on my own, I don't care. And I'll tell you why. It's obviously very obvious. We've all had our experiences with public services and how shite they are. But if you don't know my story, I sometimes I feel like I get bored of saying it, but then it's not. I can't be bored of it because it's so serious and it's still unaddressed. But right now there's a poor hand there. I believe he's in dispatch now. God knows where else he's gone into the Met. Who called a rape victim a slut. Christopher Timmins, called a rape victim a slut, wished all immigrants, legal and illegal, to fuck off back home. Excuse my language, but I'm going to say it how it is. Whilst I was taking a 999 call, completely not relevant, haven't spoken about my cousins or Sarah Everard. He mocked Sarah Everard's name into my ear, whispered it, felt his breath, and I was on the phone to call her on a live 999 call. He then proceeded to wait for me after work outside, get on the same bus as me, actually flag the bus down, bang it down even though he lives in the opposite direction, and get on my first bus and tube, and said I'm coming your way tonight and then jump on the tube. Anyway, that's not even the worst part, because I reported it, I wasn't kept in the loop, I didn't know what was going on. My mental health went through the roof because I go in one day and they have me sit next to him and I say I can't do that. He knows I complained about him. He was given a welfare officer, I wasn't given anything. Anyway, finally he was dismissed to New Scotland Yard, this very building, which is not triggering, but it's kind of triggering. I remember coming here and I had no warning about what was to happen because I'd been told not to confide in my union because I'd done nothing wrong, which I now know was a complete just to put me in a bad position, I guess. And I walked in there and I sat down and I had to face him, and he had his union rep member speak to me whilst he just stared at me through the whole hearing and asked me the most infuriating questions. Why did it take me 10 hours to report it? Why didn't I? Why isn't it? If he the comments he made, couldn't you argue that that's a way of making friends? Making banter, making conversation. I said, well, calling it a rape victim a slut, being racist and mocking Met Police crime victims, murder victims is not a way of rehabilitation, especially not following on to work. But anyway, yes, they've been dismissed, yay, and I was really proud to work in the Metropolitan Police because I joined knowing it was fucked up and I wanted to contribute in any way I could to a better service. I wanted to answer the phone, and I get laughed at by police officers a lot because I'm not a warranted officer that runs around the street taking people. But to be honest, I didn't want to be because you don't have the best reputation when I joined in 2020 anyway, and I still wanted to help people, and I can't be asked to run anyway. And I get belittled, but this staff member, this other staff member, not an officer, still important to the police. You can't have officers if you don't have dispatchers and forehanders. He got rehired, and he got rehired with allegations still proven because the director of Metropolitan Patrol Command, Jamie Johnson Cottrell, who recently took early retirement and fucked off to Northern Ireland and is now really a director of a medical injury claims firm, most likely a Freemason, although I know he is, linked from the Navy and everything, just like Christopher Simmons has done. Yeah, he said, oh, it's too harsh to dismiss staff members that call rape victims nuts and are racist and mock Sarah Everard and follow you. And the board and the case review just bear too much influence in the original panel of making decisions when they dismiss people. From that moment, I felt like a fraud. I was working in a building on shaky foundations with boys in suits laughing at women. When I'd go into meetings, there would already be boxes of tissues there waiting for me to cry, and they would tell me, are you sure you're okay? Are you sure? And come on, if you're stressed like I was, I'm gonna cry. Like if someone's gonna ask me, are you okay? I'm gonna cry, and especially I'm gonna cry because I know someone that is a danger to women and others, and all people is unpredictable, is working in the same building I am. I would get angry and I would shout, and then I would put myself in a box that they want me to, annoying, nuisance, vocal, making problems, rocking the boat. Oh, maybe she's got mental health, maybe she's unwell, maybe she can't do her job. And that's why so many Met Police officers or police across the board, staff and officers, don't want to say anything and don't want to show any ounce of frustration because they might think, they're worried that their employer will think that they can't do their job. There are so many staff and officers from the Met Police who've contacted me who are wanting to speak out but can't because they don't want to rock the boat. Policing, frontline policing, very team heavy. If you make a complaint or if you speak up, you're then with the team and you can be ostracised, and there's all types of retaliation. And I've had my share of retaliation too. I've had people from the Met stop my mum's workplace. She works at the Met. I told no one about that, no one ever knew. And weirdly, when I started speaking out, everyone knew that my mum worked for the police. I've had troll accounts, death threats from police officers. I've had a lot of ex-Navy said that they would like to end my life early. All because I called out wrongdoing, doing what you're supposed to do. It's so ironic, and I'm like smiling, but I'm smiling because I'm so past. This is about 3 years now, and I'm fed up. And my story isn't even the worst. There are literal predators. There are staff and officers. Just go on the Met Police misconduct pages. There are staff and officers who are predators. They're racist. They're misogynistic, they're sexist, and this is not just Met Police, this is NHS, all public services. I don't want the Met Police, yes, and I don't want the Met Police to take full brunt of it because, yes, they are guilty of it too, but it's also public services. And I think it's really important also to note that in terms of sentencing and things like that, CPS as well, police only have a certain amount of input until a point, so being let out as such a CPS, they've got their own contact ways. Excuse my language, but I can't speak in any other way. So yeah, I am still angry. Christopher Timmins still answers your 999 calls, he still looks at your intel, he still dispatches, he still decides whether or not police will come to your call. Imagine if you have been sexually assaulted, or you're new to this country, he's got immediate bias towards you, and how the hell have I been pushed out and he is enabled to stay? And I'll tell you why. Because the boys in suits at the top, because statistically, and it's proven, there's not many women. The higher the rank you get, there's not many women, and that's a whole other issue, whatever. And that will take decades to even out if it ever does. And the boys in suits up there, full and young, you're enable predators. know because I've told everyone that this is what he thinks and this is what he does. And so many people from Christopher Jennings' hometown have reached out to me to say that he's pinned them down, he's sexually assaulted them, he's done so many things. After I reported him, they moved him to another centre because suspending him wasn't enough. You had to move the predator to another building with people who didn't know him, where he could have a fresh, clean slate. He was known as Creepy Chris. Creepy Chris. Creepy Chris. Male staff members had to warn away female staff members. In Betsy C Control Hendon, they had to warn female staff members away from him because they said you're not safe around him. And this is after my reports and after everything. So I am gonna do what I can. I get so much hate, I get so many threats, but I couldn't give a shit. I have nothing to lose, I don't care. It's very intimidating every time I try to make change. I've got to go into spaces where there's police. Yesterday Parliament, I have to go through and then police here at this march, not requested by me. It's very triggering trying to make change when all I am is surrounded by the institution.
Proud of you, proud of you. Keep going.
Thank you. But I also just lastly want to say thank you so much for all your time on this evening. Everyone loves my work. I'm sorry I couldn't organise hot chocolate because that would have been really bad. But you know, I want people to know, to take away, that this is not just my story. There are millions of others, and I'm not. It sounds a bit weird when I say it like this, but this has opened up a fire in me that I knew was always there. I've been like this since childhood. I've always been vocal. That's why I wanted to join the police, because I never had any problem stepping into trouble, stepping into fights, and making sure people are okay, and advocating for people who can't. Because that's what policing is to me. It's safeguarding, protecting, but actually I realise it's not. It's enforcing law and it's protecting yourself. So I will continue to talk about other people's stories, not only Met Police. There are so many multi-agencies. Usually when you have one failure and one service that interlinks with other agencies, I will continue shouting about it. I don't care if I get sued, I don't care if I get arrested, I don't care what happens, because it's really fucked up that we could call 999 and have someone answer the phone like that. It's really fucked up that you can go to the family courts and have your children ripped away from you. It's really fucked up that when you make complaints to these services, they deal with them and no one else. Like sometimes I feel like am I the only one that is like, what the hell? Like, how can these services investigate themselves? It's madness. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do much more of these. I'm going to keep shouting on Instagram and TikTok, YouTube, and I'm going to make change however that sees fit. And I don't care if police officers laugh at me because I didn't have a warrant card. I don't give a fuck. I mean, some police staff are more powerful than police officers, so the belittlement culture I faced after is horrendous. But yeah, I'm, you know, like, before I need to stop because I'll look at the clock and it'll be like 4 a.m. So, thank you everyone. And I wish you all the best. Have a lovely evening. Be safe. Thank you for being so peaceful and respectful. And I hope this will grow every time because we can't be the only ones that are sick of shit. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Oh, and also we'll be having a song from. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not.
I was gonna say, castrate Creepy Chris.
Castrate
Creepy Chris. Castrate Creepy Chris.
That's great. That's a good. So thank you everyone. Get home safe and thank you so much.
How did you switch off now?
Just end it. It's a broadcast. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Get a drink. Do you want to go to the pub or?
Oh, you.
Up to you. Fair enough. Yeah. Later, yeah. I came back yesterday. Anyway, I might do one interview here and then I'll end it. I'll be 2 minutes. Yeah. Hiya. How are you? You okay?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
good. How are you?
Louis, very nice to meet you. How do you
Hello,
do?
nice to
I'm
meet
a
you.
freelance. But
Hello.
in terms of today, would you mind telling why you were here today protesting outside New Scotland Yard?
I'm supporting my wife, but I'm not. I don't really want to talk about her story without her being here. So.
Just in general, though, the main reason for this protest.
Are you recording me now? Because you didn't give me permission. That's all right. I'm really shy. I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry, I'm
That's
the wrong
fine.
person.
No problem.
So sorry.
Like the fact I've gone to all these organisations, I've spent so much money on this, and then you know what part I own
No, it's easy foldable. It all fits in. Yeah. So, probably have now. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Take care. We're going to be ending the live broadcast now. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Louis Errington. I'm an independent journalist and I cover a broad variety of protests and events across central London and elsewhere. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. We'll be live and on the ground covering more stuff coming up within the next few days, so stay tuned by hitting the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. See you all on the next live broadcast. Have a lovely evening, everyone.